The boning system is a very sophisticated and complete monitoring, alarm system, and control system for all of the electric and electronic systems on the boat. This is the home page, and it would be the page you would probably have showing when you're cruising for just routine information. In the center shows the boat with indicators for all of the running lights, anchor light, steaming light, etc. They would show up illuminated. There is a depth readout, a speed over the ground readout, temperatures for the seawater, the engine room, and the air temperature exterior, barometric reading, and then readings for speed, wind direction, and at the bottom, fuel consumption per hour, and any indication of lights. On the right side is a checklist, and items that are red you better pay attention to before you pull away from the dock. In this case, the cable master is out, something that you want to take care of before you leave, and also the engine room door is open, and that's a fire door. So then it gives you navigation position, time, date, etc., fuel quantity.
Fantastic.
Having seen that, you now can go to engine readouts, and here's a screen that shows a digital representation of analog gauges, and when the engines are running, all of the gauges have indicator needles like this one, which is just temperature. Mm-hmm. But RPM, pressures, water temperature, oil temperature, electrical condition, etc., will all appear on this screen. If you don't like digital representation of analog gauges, you can have bar graphs.
Wow.
And every function, same as on the previous page, will be shown in bar format. And if that still doesn't tickle you, you can take a look at your engines. And there will be indications of the engines, and again, all the parameters.
Fantastic.
So after that, you can look at liquids on your boat. So here is the fuel system, for example. Big representation of the fuel situation. Gives you a warning when you're about to overflow at the top, and gives you warnings at about 100 gallons down at the bottom, and otherwise shows you visually a graph and then an actual readout per gallon.
And would that white line indicate where the tank is in the vessel?
Yes, you're right. I didn't even notice that. The tanks are completely athwartships just after the accommodations. So that's indicating where they are. Then
fantastic.
Go back and you can look at water systems. So here is the black water system showing the percent full, in this case 61%. The various heads are all turned on, they're working, but there is, the seawater pump is off. And this shows which of the two freshwater pumps are on. In this case, pump number 2, and the section showing pump number 1 is gray, turned off. And we have 200 gallons out of our 339 gallon freshwater capacity.
Fantastic.
And still, if you're looking at that, it also gives you rudder angle indicators, so you don't lose touch with operating parameters if you take a minute to check these things.
Speed over ground.
Speed, course, fuel consumption.
And that range would be to a particular waypoint, I imagine.
Yes, yes.
Excellent. One of the things that occurs to me about this is, it just occurred to me that there are no gauges for the engine. It's all coming here.
Yes.
Does that save in the amount of wiring that has to pass through the boat?
A tremendous savings, because all of this comes through on an electronic network, along with all the other instruments and navigation instruments. So there isn't wiring from a gauge here all the way down to the engines or to a bilge pump in the aft part of the boat. It all just feeds into the network and is picked off the network as needed. Lastly, this is a representation of the boat. It shows temperatures in different areas of the boat. In this case, it shows, this red line shows that the engine room fire door is open, and that is represented here as well, and that was also on the checklist on the first screen. One of the things you want to take care of.
Becomes visual checklist before you leave the dock. You know that everything's secure. And
correct. Engine room blowers, air intake, etc. Then you get to the most extensive section, which is power. So here you have house batteries, port engine, starboard engine, and the 12-volt battery. And it shows what is hooked up, what is working, what the voltages are.
That's fantastic. The displays are so easy to read.
Yeah. AC power is a similar representation. This is off, and so you see a switch in the open position. This is on, so the link circled the word on, and the link goes straight across.
And the red on the bottom would indicate that the breaker's been tripped?
Yeah, breaker is tripped, and that's a bright red, and it certainly catches your attention. Well, again, you can go to generators, what the two Onan generators are doing. Right now they're both off. And then there are a number of pages of circuit breakers. This is, for example, the navigation. Everything is turned on, so you see everything green. And you have the option to use these circuit breakers in a group. So this is navigation, and so you could hit activate or deactivate, and all of them will turn on or off. So you don't have to keep pushing a dozen circuit breakers to bring the system up. Similar, this is communications. We had an issue with one of the VHF transmitters, number 2, and so that circuit breaker is tripped, and you see what a brightly lit circuit breaker tripped looks like. And then you can look here, which is a very simple representation. When you're on battery power, you simply see your battery capacity, you see what is being drawn, and so as you turn on refrigeration or turn on entertainment, you will see the draw go up in minus numbers, and then you will see the capacity, the blue, drop down, and at 60% there's a warning, and at 50% the inverter automatically switches off, because you don't want to drain your house batteries any further than that.
I see.
So,
oh, that's phenomenal.
Very simple one. Navigation lights. So I can hit, for example, well, let's see, lamp power. We can put underway group, so if we were running at night, and here the stern light, the steaming light, and the port and starboard running lights illuminate. If you turn that off, and now you want to be anchored, you will see only the anchor light on. And of course, if a bulb has burned out or if a light is defective, then you will get a warning that the stern light, the steaming light, port or starboard light, or anchor lights are out. closed circuit TV. There's looking from the cockpit aft, and you can look at the engine room, for example, and then you can zoom in or out. It's
Wow,
looking at
crisp.
the air cleaner. You can rotate it one way or another and pull back if you want. You go over here to the genset and come in. Let me raise this. You can pretty much read the label.
Wow.
Service data, and that's from 20 feet away at the front end of the
Remarkable.
at the engine room.
And is that camera part of the boning system?
Well,
The
they are separately installed cameras that the boning system is able to integrate and therefore control. So you don't have a separate push button system
Camera.
for the camera, and that's why one of the reasons typical that things are not cluttered.
It makes for such a clean pilot house.
Yeah. And then settings that you can, show whether you want to, how you want to have the calendar work, and
okay.
a 12-hour or a 24-hour day, and English metric, and it just goes on.
You
and on.
customize it.
Yeah. Do you want temperatures in Fahrenheit or centigrade, etc. So that's it.
That's fantastic. And would this be repeated at the flybridge
It's
as well?
repeated. Identical screen is at the flybridge, and those who are interested could have one in their stateroom. Not me, but somebody would want it. So yeah, it's quite complete, and I assume there will be updates and added features added all along, and it's all software driven, so nobody has to come to the boat. They can just handle it at a distance.
Right. All you need is an internet connection.
Yeah.